just proven in court that there was no interference and Mike Pence irresponsible. A lawsuit was settled yesterday between claimants from protests in Hareidi section in Yerushalayim. They were hit by a water cannon by police during a protest. An elderly couple who weren't even next to the protesters. Obviously, it was a malicious intent by the policemen to injure them. They had to go to the hospital. I think the lady was 70 years old. They received a settlement of 48,000 shekel, which is a meager sum to get for a lawsuit. They should have gotten more. The only reason they're probably successful is because the Itamar Ben Gvir from the right is in charge of the police now. I will say this about the protesters: even though a lot of people, say bad things about the Haredim, the ultra orthodox, for protesting the light rail being set up in their place, I think they have a legitimate, claim, because if there's loud noise, you can make a claim against this. For them, this bothers them. The FDA has been trying to crack down on e-cigarettes. Apparently, the number of e-cigarettes being sold in the United States has tripled since 2020, even though Donald Trump basically passed legislation that they were forbidden except for ones that have tobacco, which people who smoke regular cigarettes need to get off from regular cigarettes. I don't think there should be a ban on e-cigarettes. I don't think it's something which is so dangerous. The ones that are forbidden, the ones without tobacco, they're not really that addictive. I think when you forbid things that really should be okay, you create underground market. You create even more of a desire to have these things, and the prices in the underground world for these things go up. Don't make it like alcohol that was prohibited in the early 1900s. The New York Jets are very upset that they're going to be featured on Hard Knocks this year, the HBO special documenting a sort of a reality show, the preseason training for an NFL team. I think they're right for being worried about this, not wanting this. It's going to be a media circus. New York is a media circus to begin with. They just got Aaron Rodgers. They have 6 primetime games this year. People are expecting them to contend for the NFL championship. So there's going to be a whole media circus around them. It's going to be a big distraction. I think Hard Knocks is an added distraction. Goldman Sachs downgraded Tesla stock yesterday from buy to neutral, following in the footsteps of Barclays and Morgan Stanley, which I think did the same thing. Tesla stock, I believe, is the best stock on the market right now. They gave it a valuation around $250, which is what it is right now. If you look at other tech companies, I think they're highly overpriced now, like Microsoft, Nvidia, AMD. They're highly overpriced. Tesla, I think, where it should be. There's even some forecasters who say that by 2027, Tesla stock could go up, 10,000%. There are even some forecasters who say Tesla stock could go up 1,000% to $2,000 by 2027 because of the robo-taxi business. Tesla has barely scraped the surface. I think this is unfair by Goldman Sachs. The country with the lowest fertility rate in the world is South Korea, which has a fertility rate of 0.78. That means, I guess, for 2 adults, they have 0.78 of a kid, not even an entire kid. It's the worst in the world. And what compounds this is that they have, in the mainland of South Korea, over 400 no-kid zones where cafes and restaurants are not allowed to bring kids because it disturbs people. I think this is just part of the overall society nowadays. People don't want to work for things. Having children is difficult in the beginning. It's difficult to have the children, to raise the children, to get them married off. But ultimately, down the line, the rewards outweigh the difficulties in having the children. And I think society needs to change these laws and this outlook to realize that in the end, life is difficult in the beginning, but it gets better at the end if you put in the hard work. And I think society has to realize this.